Okay, so I know a lot of you rascals out there sure do love video games, but they can be pretty friggin' expensive, especially with some games these days costing $70 as opposed to the good old $60 we all agreed upon in like 2000. However, whether you be a collector or someone who just wants to play all the best games that are coming out, I've got a few tips that'll not only save you some money, but also sometimes even make you some money to play all your favorite games. So sit back in your Uncle Dusty's lazy boy and allow me, YouTube's tallest man, CameronAllOneWord, to give you 4 tips on how to play modern games while spending as little money as possible.
Basically, my 4 key tips are to sell pre-order bonuses, don't buy games till you're actually going to play them, wait for price drops, and buy used games, but never from retailers. But anyway, as we all know, most video games are at their highest price around the time where they first come out, so the most obvious solution to save some money would be to wait a little bit. I mean, after all, I bought Valkyria Chronicles 4 when it first came out for the Switch, and given that I'm always in the middle of like 8 games at any given time, I never managed to actually get around to playing the dang thing, and before I knew it, sealed copies of the game were being sold at retail for $20.
And well, to this day, I still haven't even opened it because I'm a friggin' dingus.
So if you don't have any plans to play a game right away, then you really should just wait till you actually have an idea of when you'll get around to it. You know, unless you're a billionaire or something, I guess, but if that's the case, then what the frig are you doing watching this video? Then again, Nintendo almost never discounts their games, and if I'm being honest, I'm probably the only person in the world who actually likes that, because I never feel like I'm in any kind of a rush to play these games as soon as possible. For example, I got the Link's Awakening remake the day it came out and played it on and off for about 2 years. But despite taking forever to beat it, I ended up selling it for $44 within minutes of listing it on eBay. Sure, I didn't buy it for $20 as a Nintendo Selects, but after selling it, I still ended up paying about $20 for the experience in the end anyway. Meanwhile, I got Doom Eternal at launch with the intention of getting through it as quickly as possible so I could sell it and get most of my money back just like I usually do. But then before I knew it, the price dropped down to $20 for a new copy at retail, so I kinda blew it. I know it wasn't a long game or anything like that, but like, it came out at the same time as Animal Crossing, Persona 5 Royal, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, along with a few other games, not to mention I got tons of other retro games I'm in the middle of too. And I hate to break this to you, but my life doesn't purely revolve around video games from the second I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. Sometimes I like to play with my skate toy or watch movies and TV shows, plus I got like 8 dads I need to feed and bills to pay, so I'm sorry, but sometimes I can't finish games before they get massive price cuts. Yeah, I know some people hate the idea of selling their games off, and as a collector of certain consoles, I totally get that. For whatever it's worth, I really don't care to collect for any of the modern consoles, because they all have more than a few games that need patches before you could actually play them, and I don't know, that kinda kills some of the appeal to me. So if you're like me and don't collect for any of the modern consoles, then physicals are still easily your best option if you want to save some money, because you can always sell them when you're done.
You get it. When I'm done with her.
Just make sure you don't trade them into GameStop, because you're gonna make significantly less money if you do that. I know it seems easier than selling them yourself, but if you have a printer and even the crappiest computer, it barely takes any effort at all to sell games on eBay. Or, you know, I guess you could always use Macari if you want to sell your games for less money, pay more fees, and wait longer for people to actually buy them. Also, if you sell your games on eBay, always ship media mail, because it's cheap as frig. I don't know why, but most people never do that. But assuming you want to keep your games, though, it's still better to wait for the inevitable price cuts for pretty much any non-Nintendo game, but if you really want to play these games sooner than later and don't want to buy used copies, then you could still save a good amount of money by ordering new copies on eBay that are somehow like $10 cheaper than in retail stores. At least sometimes, anyway. I don't know how these people are able to sell these brand new games for so cheap and still make a profit. I guess they probably robbed a store or something, I don't know. But what I can tell you is that a deal's a deal, so if you want to play a game as soon as it comes out, but you don't mind waiting for a day or two for shipping, then eBay's your best bet. And then, of course, there's the pre-order bonuses that a lot of stores offer for some of the more notable games. More often than not, these consist of steelbooks that usually sell for around $30, so if you pay $60 and don't mind storing your game in the case that it comes with, then that's a 50% discount right there, and if you sell the game after the steelbook, then you could actually make a little bit of money after playing it. Most recently, I pre-ordered Resident Evil Village literally hours before the game launched because I completely forgot about it, and I was still somehow able to get a steelbook. I paid $60 for the game and ended up selling it for $50, so with the steelbook, that means I got paid like $20 to borrow the game for like 2 weeks.
The numbers don't lie!
Well, maybe not after all the taxes are factored in, but it's still cheaper than buying the game at retail without getting and selling the steelbook and holding on to the game over time. Part of me feels like a lot of people have to already know about a lot of this, and I'm sure that some people do, but I don't know. Every time I talk about this around people, they always seem surprised when I tell them about steelbooks or how bad GameStop rips you off when you trade something in. And look, I've given GameStop a lot of poop over some of the things they've done in the past, but their trade-in deals were never really one of the things I complained about. Because at the end of the day, if both parties agree to a deal, then I don't really see a problem. I just wish there were more people who knew that there were more alternatives than meeting up with some random weirdos in parking lots who try to haggle over the price you agreed upon before meeting up. I don't know, that's just how I buy my games anyway.
But anyway, that's all for today though, so if you liked this video, then you should check out my video on which 3DS games you need to buy on the eShop before they close it down once and for all. You'll excuse me though, I gotta go pay my long overdue egg bills before I get my thumbs broken again. Because let me tell you, that makes wiping your ass no walk in the park. Later!
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty, thank you for your support.